We've got some crazy totals for you guys. I will tell you all about it coming up. Well, we're out collecting yet again, and this is our fourth collection. No, third. This is only our third, isn't it? This is our third collection, and we've got some gushers going on. We've got a lot of sap going on. I'm gonna get this all collected. We'll go up to the barn and I'll show you guys how much we got, but we're gonna boil this down. We're gonna actually RO it overnight and then boil it down tomorrow. So it should be a good day.
Checking for any ice. Oh, we got a little ice chunk in here. Whoop. That's how that works.
Well, we got a lot more stuff. We got 2 oaks, looks like over 200 gallons right now.
What?
Feels like it, doesn't it?
I guess you won the bet, baby.
I don't think we got 200, but we're creeping up there. It might be a longer boil tomorrow. This is a super run for sap. This has been probably one of the best sap runs we've had ever on Gagne Farms here. We got just a couple more buckets, and then we're gonna go up to the house. I got a couple buckets around the house. We're gonna grab them quick, and then we're gonna go and see our final total. Yeah?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh boy. Nice. Here, I got an empty one.
Okay.
Take that one.
Just over 100.
Well, we have got almost 125 gallons. I'm gonna call it about 115. That's a super run on our scale. This is a really good run. Lucas brought over about 15 gallons too from his house. We've got that in there, and we're gonna start ROing this stuff so we can boil first thing in the morning. That's a lot that we want to get RO'd, so we better start now. We've got plenty of time. It'll be a good boil tomorrow. All right, guys, let's get rolling. Let's get ROing. Let's get rowing. I'm gonna start calling it rowing because nobody else does. Let's go row.
Let's go rowing.
Let's go row. Oh, hey Candace, can you plug that extension cord?
We gotta do that again because that's just, we just lost the dramatics for that.
That was funny. Oh, look at Candace trying to reach the wall. That's almost.
Ready? Now we're gonna get rolling.
Get rowing.
Oh yeah, we're rowing now. Oop, got a little leak.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. It's just nope. That's good. It just wasn't pushed in all the way. We are back, everybody. This is the next morning from our collection yesterday, and everything RO'd really well last night. We've got about 35 gallons of permeate that came off of our otherwise would have been raw sap, and we don't have to boil that. So we've got just about 100 gallons here. Oh, nope, I take that back. I got 75 gallons of concentrate in there. That's gonna be a pretty good boil. I usually get, we'll calculate it. We'll try to calculate today what we end up with, but I'm guessing between 10 and 12 gallons an hour is what I get out of this when I really get it cranking. But that's a good thing we should do today, because I've never really calculated it at all. But I'm gonna start a timer right now, and I know I've got 75 gallons because that's right on the line. So we're gonna do that. But that is concentrate too, remember that. So concentrate is gonna be a little bit different than raw sap. Regardless, we're fired up, we're getting going. And today, we're gonna talk about this RO system just a bit more. I wanna explain to you a little bit more in detail, show you a couple tips and tricks that I do when I'm running my RO system. I know you guys are running a lot of the same systems out there, so hopefully it'll help benefit everybody. Let's get this fire going real good first. This guy is rolling right along. We've been going for just over an hour with a steady boil, and we have gotten down quite a bit on our tank here. We were right at 75. We're down probably about to 60 gallons. So I would say a conservative 15 gallons has come off there already. So we're doing good with that. I want to show you guys a few things with this RO system here, okay? Super easy to run. The benefits of the RO is you save yourself some time. Lots of time actually. So I always run this at night while I'm sleeping. It runs all night long. I had taken out, when I came out here this morning, there was roughly 35 gallons right here of water that was already RO'd, taken out of our sap from yesterday. So that's 35 gallons just overnight that I don't have to boil at all. So it means I don't have to spend the money on wood. I don't have to spend the money on during the summer cutting the wood, splitting the wood, stacking the wood. You understand what I'm saying here. That's just one of the benefits of using the RO system. The other reason, when you're boiling concentrate into your pan like this, it is so much better to be boiling concentrated sap than it is to be boiling raw sap. Raw sap takes forever to boil. So when you're boiling RO'd sap, it's basically like you've been boiling it twice as fast. So when we used to boil raw sap, we would have buckets and pails out back on a cinder block arch, same pan that we have now, but cinder block arch, and it would take us forever. Every time I dumped a bucket in, it would kill the boil, and we had raw sap in there, and I'd spend 45 minutes trying to get the fire back up to a good boil, and then right about the time I got it to a boil, I'd have to put more sap in. I'd even started using turkey fryers and warming everything up on a turkey fryer before putting it in. It helped a little bit, but this system here, if you were able to RO your sap and RO it directly into your evaporator. This system here, this is just a little bit of Bundy tubing here. I use this as a pre-warmer on the exhaust. I wish I had another length of it. That's probably something I'll add next year, but this does warm up in here, and it ROs directly into our pan. I don't have to mess around with it. I used to before have to bilge pump things and pump it into buckets and transport it all over the place. I don't have to do any of that. All I gotta do, I gotta go out in the woods, collect sap, and put it in IBC tote. That's it. From there, the RO system does all the rest of the work. All the rest of the transporting, I don't have to do anything else. So it's kind of like cutting and splitting and stacking wood. The less times that you have to touch that piece of wood, the better it is. So I kind of applied the same logic to the sap too. The less handling of the sap that I have to deal with, the better overall. So this system here, it's a 350 gallon membrane per day RO'd system. I have a micron filter here, and I run my system between 90-95 psi, and that depends on if I have new filters and membranes or if I'm using an older set. And obviously an older membrane or a used membrane is going to require a little bit more PSI to get that same output, but these are all new filters and membranes this year. So as far as the membranes, there's many different brands. You can go on Amazon or lots of maple syrup sites, and they have different kinds of RO membranes. I'll leave a link down below to the ones that I use. Feel free to use it or not, it doesn't matter. I would rather that you guys just ran an RO system, period, no matter where you get it from. This Micron filter, I try to change out a couple times in a season. The RO membranes I'll try to use for 2 years, depending on how much I use it every year. Quite a few social media sites that I'm on, they have a lot of questions out there with people running RO systems for the first time, and a lot of them I see pertain to they can't get pressure to build, or it's low pressure, and that 90% of the time people say in their posts that I know I've got it hooked up right. If you're not building pressure, you probably don't have it hooked up right. That's just my my experience with it. So if you do have a low pressure system like that on your RO, just look at the way it's plumbed. Look at mine. I've got build videos. You can check that out. Check your own paperwork if you have a different system, but that's probably the case. That's probably what's going on. Another common misconception that people have about RO is, oh, it's going to make my syrup taste different. That's not true. Your syrup is going to taste just fine with running through an RO as if you ran raw sap. All it's doing is taking the water out, guys. That's all it's doing. It's a reverse osmosis. It's not a reverse, I'm taking all your flavor out machine. It's water. You're taking the water out of it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So what do you do when you're all done for the day and you are done running your RO system? What do you do then? Well, what I do is I grab 2 5-gallon buckets of water, and then I grab 2 other buckets that are empty as well. And I'll run, I'll take my inlet from my RO, put it in the bucket of water. I'll take my RO output and I'll put that into a bucket of water. And I'll circulate that whole system through with just water for probably a half hour. I know it seems like a long time, but when you are, right when you're done at the end of the day and you want to be done and go inside, there's still cleanup, there's still things that have to be done. So you want to run that system, you want to flush that out very well. I've always ran it for about a half hour, not had any problems. There's no mold or anything that gets in there. If it gets super warm, if it's 80 degrees in the pole barn and there's water in it, yeah, there's something going to happen to it. But if it gets that warm, I take it inside. If it gets super cold, I take it inside. I don't like it to sit outside if it's going to be below, 20 degrees or something for an extended period of time. Earlier this week, I did have to take that RO system and put it in the house for a few days. Otherwise, it would have froze and it would have cracked some of those fittings. And I hate plugging my system in, getting ready to go, and then notice I have a cracked fitting. If I was going to give you any advice, that's something small that you could buy as just an extra pack of the fittings here on the RO system. They're cheap. But I have had a few of them go before. The threads on them, they're fine thread MPT. Sometimes you get one cross-threaded, you don't get enough tape on it or something. Have a pack of those laying around, because you don't want to be getting ready to boil, getting ready to run your RO system, and then find out you have a cracked fitting, and then you're dead in the water, or you're boiling raw sap, which you do not want to do. Don't boil raw sap. Telling you. When I get ready to put my RO system to bed tonight, I will make sure to put a video of how I flush this system. I don't know as if I've ever shown on video, or maybe I haven't in a long time, of the flush process that I do. It's super simple. You're just flushing it with water. We've been rolling right along here. It's been about 3 hours, and I've kind of rough calculated how much sap we have went through into the pan. And we're running right about 9 gallons per hour, which is pretty good. A little bit lower than I thought, but I'm not really pushing it super hard either. Kind of just keeping it maintained, keeping a good rate going. And I think that's what I'm gonna kind of stay with right now. So we're gonna definitely keep an eye on this throughout the day and see if it improves at all. But that's pretty much where we're at. We're right about that 9 gallon per hour mark, which is, I think, is fantastic. So we just keep loading the wood, cooking the sap, loading the wood, cooking the sap. I got a bucket load of wood over here. of nice dry maple from my woodshed. I had packed that away just for this purpose, just to make syrup out of. Well, that was some of the inner workings of how our RO system here works at Gagne Farms. I know everybody's is a little bit different, but this RO system is kind of similar throughout the industry for hobbyists like myself. So I hope you guys got a few tips and tricks that you can do with your RO system, if not for this year, but for next year. So thanks for following along, guys. I appreciate it. I've got boil number 4 coming up right here. So check that video out next week. It'll be dropping, and you can see how everything went. We've got some crazy totals for you guys. I will tell you all about it coming up. All right, we will catch you on the next one.